Okay guys, if you want to boost your damage, this is where it's going to be a big hit. This is where it's going to be, you're going to see it significantly. There are tiny little tricks that you can do to optimize your damage for your hutao, okay? And this not only applies to hutao, but it applies to a bunch of other characters. For instance, Zhao and Raiden and many other characters that do a bunch of upfront damage and are known as hyper carries because they are on the field a majority of the time and you want them to have huge burst amounts of damage during their uptime, okay? So whatever tips you see during this are probably tips that you can utilize on other characters as well, but in today's example I'm mainly going to be using hutao, okay? So let's go ahead and show you how you can increase your damage. So we're going to go in there, we're going to do a first showcase of just the damage with just these two, and then I'm going to show you how you can amplify your damage as you add more elements to the team composition and how it can affect how your team plays as well as the damage output you get, okay? So let's go ahead and start this, okay? So I'm just going to drop Chun-Li's pillar right here and give a shield. I'm going to go with Hutao's burst. Okay, we're just looking at like 10k on her. I can't see the damage really. 15k? What weapon are we using? Okay, we're using the right weapon. We're gonna swap back to Chun-Li. Okay, we're not doing like too crazy of a damage. Yeah, it's like 15k. Oh, 31,000 there at the end, okay. So like 31,000, nothing too crazy, okay. We do have a pretty built up hutao, but you go online, you see these people doing big damage, and you're like, what in the world? What am I doing wrong? My hutao's got her weapon. I mean, look at it. Look. My hutao's got her weapon. She's fully decked out. Look at 10 triple crowned. You know, we've got the 4-piece. And I've got the weapon. What's going on? I'm only doing 30,000. Like, what's the deal? All right, well, let's go ahead and show you different ways that you can increase damage, okay? I'm going to go ahead and try to explain as best as I can how to increase. So let's go ahead and do one little change, okay? So, Chun-Li, you might have caught this earlier, but I did switch something. We are going to switch this back to the original, where is it? Artifact right here, okay? So, with this, I'm proccing this 4-piece tenacity. What this 4-piece tenacity does is it gives me an extra 20% attack and some additional shield, okay? That's going to be a slight difference. So let's go ahead and just go in and see how much big of a difference this does, okay? So basically, by adding a 4-piece bonus that gives me extra attack, I should be able to do more damage, right? Well, let's go see how much big of a difference this does. And for those who have Chun-Li, I really do think this artifact set is one of the best for him, okay? I know a lot of people sometimes don't like it, but... Okay, so we're already seeing a slight difference, okay? We're doing around 32 to 33,000. You guys see that? 32 to 33,000, so it's about 1 to 2,000 increase in damage due to just the pillar being right there. Yeah, you guys see that difference? So we went from doing like 29 to 30 to 32. Okay, well, look at all that was literally just switching some artifacts. I mean, Chun-Li didn't even need good substats on those artifacts. He just needed to have them in general. So keeping that mindset, let's go ahead and add some characters, okay? If we're doing raw damage, right, let's go ahead and see something real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and make a full 4 team, okay? I'm not even gonna use Xingqiu, but what happens if I use... How about this Ningguang? She's level 0, doesn't really have much going for... She's level 20, okay? Alright, so... I'm adding another Geo character. Now, some of you probably know where I'm going with this, but okay. So we got Geo Resonance, right? Geo Resonance, one of the most popular things. You get a 15% increase in your damage if you have a shield. Essentially, that's the key aspect, but it also increases your shield strength, making things a little easier for yourself as far as shielding. Now, some of you normally only see these compositions, and it's like, well, what if I don't have Albedo? So what? You don't have Albedo, whatever. Well, you can make do with whatever Geo characters you have. You don't need to have Albedo to run double Geo. That's the thing, you can kind of run double Geo whenever you want. The thing is, Chun-Li is an important aspect, but you can use Noelle. And you also have Geo Traveler, who is also very good as well. Geo Traveler can provide crit rate and be utilized in other ways. But let me go ahead and show you what's going to happen now. Now this composition I also like to use on Zhao. It also works really well for Zhao and can be used for other main carry characters. But I think Zhao and Hutao are the real benefiters from this. So let's go ahead and see how much of a difference this makes. Okay. So we're just going to do the raw damage. Okay, we're doing 35. You see that now? So we increased by 3,000, right? Because we were doing 32, and now we're doing 35. So like quite a bit of a difference. Okay, so we just moved up we went from 30 to 35 by adding one artifact set and then an additional character. That's Geo. Okay, now let's start adding some reactions. Okay, let's use Xingqiu, and we're gonna be doing some melt, or no, some vaporize. Okay, now this is gonna be the biggest spike. Okay, because vaporize damage multiplies by like 1.5%, so it's gonna be a significant difference. So let's go ahead and showcase that real quick. And it's gonna go a lot quicker. Things are gonna just exponentially go up. But there are still some little things we can do to improve the damage. So let's go ahead and go in here and showcase what we do with this. Alright, so we got double Geo, we've got Hutao, we got Xingqiu. Let's go ahead and drop this. We're gonna get this, drop this. Let's see what our damage is like. I can't really see. It's like 71,000. That guy's already dead. Okay. Okay, this domain is getting a lot easier, as you can see. So 71,000. So we went from 35 to 71,000, okay? 71. Now, is there anything else I can do to increase this? Well, let's go ahead and see. Okay. So this is our first composition. This is double Geo. That's nothing game breaking. It's been going on. People have been using this forever. I just think people without Albedo get afraid to use it or utilize it. Double Geo, anybody can use. Pretty much. I mean, you just gotta kind of build the characters. I mean, if you don't have Chun-Li, it could be a little hard. But okay, so I have something up my sleeve that we're gonna go ahead and use. And I don't even have everything on. But let's go ahead and see, because I'm actually curious. So what we have is we're gonna go in with the same team, but we're gonna do something slightly different. We're gonna do something a little different, okay? And I feel like I should tell you guys before or after. I can't tell. Let me tell you guys before. So Ning Wang has a weapon. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have switched to her. Okay, a weapon that provides something. And that would be Thrilling Tales, okay? So this weapon at R5 will increase your attack by 48%, okay? But you have to make sure you switch to the character next that you want to have that bonus on. And so that's why my Hutao's attack went up quite a bit. So I'm going to wait for it to wear out a little bit, okay? Because I think I utilized it and it's going to take a little bit. The other thing that you can do is Ning Wang is kind of a freebie character in this composition, so you can kind of utilize her artifacts to be whatever to boost your main DPS. So I have Instructor on. I'm kind of curious because I'm not sure if the 4-piece can actually be set by somebody that's a Geo. I believe it can, but what this ideally does is whenever there's a reaction, it gives all team members 120 elemental mastery. Why don't we go ahead and check while I do this, okay? But if not, I would probably run 4-piece Noblesse, which would give me an additional 20% attack. But let's go ahead and see if this works or not. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drop this. We're going to try to get Xingqiu's ulti back, okay? Alright, so if we go to this, we did. So she gave me 120 elemental mastery, as you can see. So we're gonna go ahead. As you can see, I'm doing 88,000 on my charge attacks. And just like that, I cleared it in 2 seconds. Now do you guys start to see the big difference between how you build your team and how that works out? I hope you guys really do see like how big of a difference that is. We went from 30,000 to 88,000 damage on our charge attacks. And that's not even counting the burst, okay? So I hope that's helpful. I'm gonna go ahead and show you a couple of other teams that you can do real quick. I won't go through the whole example like I just did, just because that would take forever. But let me go ahead and break down some other teams real quick that you could utilize as well. So other teams that you could do, right? And let me go ahead and show you, is a team very much like this, okay? So this team is slightly different. But what you could do is, now that you have cryo resonance, it gives you an additional 15% crit rate if the person is affected by cryo. The other thing is, you can Rosaria passes crit rate, okay? So Rosaria, let's go ahead and look at Rosaria. If you give her a lot of crit rate, which I believe I have a lot of crit rate, I have basically 100 crit rate. Due to her passive, she can pass 15% of her crit rate. So as long as I use her burst right before hutao's, so let's go ahead and switch hutao. So I have a crit rate circlet. Well, with this, I can kind of get away with a crit damage circlet. Let me see, I might just swap these actually. Let's see how much. Yeah, as long as I don't go into a crit rate problem. So let me go, I said I wouldn't show an example, but let me go ahead and show one real quick. Okay, she's basically there. Now I might have to build up some ER, so let's go ahead and bear with me on this. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop this. I'm gonna try to build up some ER. Alright, we'll drop this. And did you guys see how that damage is slightly close to being as good, if not better than the other team, okay? So that's a double cryo team instead of a double geo. And it worked out, like, really well. Surprisingly, actually, really well. And that's a team where you don't need Zhongli. You can just use Diona. But I hope that's helpful. I hope you guys find this video helpful in how to utilize team compositions to make your teams better. And the funny thing is, look at this build. The crit rate's not good, but as you can tell, I used characters' abilities to help boost my builds perform as just better. So there's not like a very set in stone, just traditional do this, do that. It kind of depends on what you're running, what team you're running, and how you can effectively change that, okay? Anyways, guys, hope you liked the video. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you later next time. Peace.